world, the problems of the world, the problems and pressures that I had, all slipped away, and I was in this wonderful, magical, special world. And I heard music, and I saw a carousel, and we went on that about 20 times. I remember I loved that. And then we saw these various exhibits, and a fellow taking us on a jungle boat and shooting animals and coming out of the water. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was the most wonderful day I had ever spent. I was filled beyond words. And occasionally I'd see on a window somebody's name. I didn't know who it was, but I thought, oh, that's a nice, colorful kind of a thing. And I didn't know quite what that was all about. But that was 1955. Years went by. And one day, good fortune smiled upon Robert and myself, and a little girl named Annette Funicello sang a song of ours, a little rocker. It's called Tall Paul, He's My All. Remember that? Wonderful Annette Funicello, a sweetheart. She sang a lot of our songs, and Walt Disney was very fond of Annette and knew and liked our songs, and he asked us to come and write a song for her. And that started the ball rolling, and the next thing you know, Bob and I were working for Walt himself. And that was a dream that nobody in the world could imagine, because we were being given assignments that you can't believe. They were so inspiring. And the most inspiring thing of all was the way Walt would describe what he wanted from us. He was so enthusiastic that he just sort of made you do better than you ever could dream you could do. That's what he did with all of his creative people. It was just an amazing thing. And so there we were writing songs for Walt Disney. One day, about 1963, Elizabeth, my wife, and I were leaving the park. We had had a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and evening, and we waited till everybody practically was out of the park, and we were standing about here, just ironically, just about over here. And we saw a lone figure way at the other end of Main Street, slowly looking at the windows and coming down. I said, honey, that's Walt. Let's tell him how much fun we had. This will be a great moment to tell him how much we enjoyed the park today. So we waited, and he came up, hello, Richard, hello, Elizabeth. And I said, Walt, we just wanted to tell you that we had the greatest day of our lives. It was just wonderful. And you know, at the end, when Tinkerbell flew across the sky and the fireworks were going off and the music was playing, I just burst into tears. I was crying. It was so beautiful. Happiest tears I ever cried, but there they were. And he said, you know, I do that every time. He was the greatest fan of this park, Walt Disney himself. He loved it. And he knew it would never finish and never end. And I'm so thrilled to be part of the Disney family. It's a very special thing to me. And Bob and I both feel the same way about this company, and we feel the way about Walt. And you heard it. I couldn't have had a greater collaborator than my brother Bob. He was an inspiration to me, and I hope I was to him. And we worked so well together so many years. And it's thrilling, and I just can't tell you how much it means to me today to be here. This is a special thing, and having my wife and my brother's son and his daughter over here and their families, it's just a wonderful thing for us all to be here. And there's my son Greg over there, and Jeff. And Greg and Jeff did a film about the Sherman Brothers called The Boys, and I hope you'll all see it. It's a wonderful film. It's going to be on DVD shortly. I'm not making a plug there. It's in the family. But I just feel that it's a wonderful thing, and I hope you'll all see it. And I think, just before I'm going to conclude with two things. I had so many thoughts in my head, but I don't want to go on forever. The first thing is this. In a song that we wrote for Mary Poppins, there's a moment in time when Mr. Banks, the head of the family, is having a crisis. He really is thinking about what his life is adding up to, and he feels it's a moment of truth, and he has to ask himself, what's it all about? And he says to himself, a man has dreams of walking with giants to carve his niche in the edifice of time. Well, I think Bob and I now have carved our niche in the edifice of time. I'm thrilled about that. Thank you very much. I'd like to conclude with a song that Walt Disney loved very, very, very much. I played it many, many times. I've always dedicated it to him. He's the one that kind of inspired us and gave us our biggest break. And so, with your kind indulgence, I'm going to go over to the piano and play Walt's favorite song, Feed the Birds.